Dear student, previous class we discussed about the classification of polymer. There are different way for the classification of polymer, just like basing upon the nature of polymer, basing upon the structure of polymer. Next is your basing upon the mode of polymerization. There are many way for the classification of polymer. Today I will discuss about the method of polymerization. Method of polymerization. There are two types of method of polymerization. One is your addition polymerization. Second is your condensation polymerization. So we can write there are two types of polymerization. There are two types of polymerization. Number one is your addition polymerization. Number two is your condensation polymerization. At first I will discuss about the addition polymerization. Addition polymerization. Remember, addition polymerization generally deals with the addition reaction. Condensation polymerization generally deals with the condensation reaction. So we can write the meaning of addition polymerization. This type of polymerization involves the successive addition of monomer unit in the growth chain with a reaction intermediate like your free radical, carbocation, carboanion. Addition polymerization are of three types such as number one is your free radical addition polymerization. Number two is your cationic addition polymerization. Number three is your anionic addition polymerization. These are classified depending upon the reaction intermediate. Generally, free radical addition polymerization generally deals with the free radical. Cationic addition polymerization generally deals with the carbocation. Anionic addition polymerization generally deals with the carboanion. At first, I will discuss about the free radical addition polymerization. What is the meaning of free radical addition polymerization, and what is the example related to the free radical addition polymerization? Generally, the alkene and its derivative involves the chain reaction in which we need a chain carrier, and the chain carrier must be your free radical, and that free radical must be prepared by the help of free radical generating initiator. The free radical generating initiator are benzoyl peroxide, acyl peroxide. So we can write the alkene and its derivative involves the chain reaction in which the chain carrier is a free radical, which is formed by a free radical generating initiator like your benzoyl peroxide, and you can think about the acyl peroxide, etc. Take an example of free radical addition polymerization. Reaction of styrene to form the polystyrene. The structure of styrene is this. This is the structure of styrene. Now it is subjected to polymerization in the presence of a free radical initiator, that is your benzoyl peroxide. This is your said to be benzoyl peroxide. When styrene undergoes polymerization in the presence of benzoyl peroxide, then what will happen? Polystyrene is formed. Look at that, here the pi bond will break. As a result, we can write like this. There are many styrene molecules are attached with each other and form a polymer, and this polymer is called polystyrene. If I will take n molecule, then it is bound to write here n. This means it clearly indicates the structure is like this. This is the structure. You can also attach another monomer unit here. You can also attach another monomer unit here. Simply we can write like this. This is your polystyrene. Here the double bond will break. As a result, another monomer will be attached to this carbon atom, and also another monomer unit must be attached to this carbon atom. As a result, a polymer is formed. Next is your cationic addition polymerization. What is the meaning of cationic addition polymerization? Here, a nucleophile will play an important role. So we can think about that. A positive charge attached to the vinyl monomer. We can write what is the meaning of cationic addition polymerization, and what is the example of cationic addition polymerization. This type of polymerization involves the addition of a positive ion to the vinyl monomer to form a carbocation intermediate. Take an example. If I will take the propene, this is the structure of propene, and it undergoes polymerization in the presence of HBr. Here H plus Br minus will be formed, and at first this H plus will play an important role for the polymerization of propene, so it is considered as a cationic addition polymerization. Now, at first, this pi bond will break. As a result, here one single bond is formed, here also one single bond is formed, and these two single bonds helps to the polymerization of propene. That means we can write the structure like this. This is the structure. Here the double bond will break, one single bond is here and another single bond is here. As a result, it is very easy to attach the another monomer unit to this monomer unit. That means we can write here N. If I will take here N, that is your propene and this is your said to be polypropene. And this is an example of cationic addition polymerization. Next I will discuss about the anionic addition polymerization. Next is your anionic addition polymerization. We can write a sentence for this polymerization. This type of polymerization involves the addition of a negative ion. Instead of positive ion, it is bound to write the word negative. That is your negative ion to the vinyl monomer to form a carboanion. Intermediate. Let me explain with an example. Suppose I will take the vinyl chloride. This is the structure of vinyl chloride. And it is subjected to polymerization in the presence of KNH2, here K plus NH2 minus. Here the NH2 minus play an important role for the polymerization of vinyl chloride. As a result, we will able to find out the polyvinyl chloride, that is shortly represented PVC. And what will be the structure of polyvinyl chloride? Look at that, your pi bond will be break. As a result, we can write CH2 bond CH2 and the chlorine atom will attach here. We can write here one single bond and we can give N. This is your N and this is your said to be polyvinyl chloride, that is your said to be PVC. This is your an example of anionic addition polymerization. Now I will discuss about the condensation polymerization. Condensation polymerization. What is the meaning of condensation polymerization and what are the examples of condensation polymerization? This type of polymerization involves the condensation between bifunctional monomer with the loss of simple molecule like H2O, HCl, CH3OH, etc., leading to the formation of high molecular mass. Leading to the formation of high molecular mass polymer. Let me explain with an example. Now I will take an example of condensation polymerization. This is the structure of ethylene glycol. Look at that, here 2H group will attach, that is your bifunctional group. Next I will attach the ethylene glycol with the terephthalic acid. This is the structure of terephthalic acid. Terephthalic acid. Now the two monomer undergoes condensation reaction form a polymer. Here there is a loss of water molecule takes place. Like this. As a result, what will happen? Bond O. Your hydrogen atom is removed by another terephthalic acid which is present here. Here also OH is removed by another ethylene glycol molecule. As a result, we get a chain, and the structure of the polymer is which is formed by the help of ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. The name of the polymer is polyethylene terephthalate. So we can write the structure like this. Here we can write N, also here N, as a result it is bound to write here N. And the name of this polymer is polyethylene terephthalate, that is also called Darcon or also called Terylene. This is an example of condensation polymerization. This is all about the method of polymerization. Now I will discuss about a special polymerization, that is your copolymerization. The polymer which is made by two or more different type of monomer unit in the chain is called copolymer, and the process is called copolymerization. Let me explain with an example. This is the structure of 1,3-butadiene. The name of this compound is buta-1,3-diene. Now it is subjected to reaction with the styrene. This is the structure of styrene. Then a polymer is formed. Look at that. How can we able to form the polymer? Here double bond will be formed. Here one bond is formed this part. Here this bond is for another unit of buta-1,3-diene. Now this part is for another styrene molecule. So we can write like this: bond CH2, bond CH2, bond CH. Here double bond will be formed. Next is your bond CH2. Now I will attach the styrene molecule like this, and here CH2, and it is bound to write N. And here we take N molecules of butan-1,3-diene. Here also we take N molecules. This is your said to be a copolymer, butadiene styrene copolymer. This is an example of copolymerization. Here the monomer units are different. One is your buta-1-betaene, another is your styrene. Now I will discuss about the classification of copolymer. Depending upon the arrangement of the monomer units, copolymer are classified into four types. One is a random copolymer. Second is a alternative copolymer. Third is a block copolymer. Fourth is a graft copolymer. At first I will discuss about the random copolymer. In random copolymer, the monomer units are arranged in a randomly manner. If I will take two monomer, one is A, another is B, then the structure of random copolymer is like this. You can arrange the monomer units as your choice, random manner. This is the structure of random copolymer. Look at that here. The monomer units, that is your A and B, are arranged in a randomly manner. Next I will discuss about the alternative copolymer. In alternative copolymer, the monomer units are arranged in a alternative manner. Now I will draw the structure of alternative copolymer. Suppose I will take two monomer, one is your A, another is your B. Suppose I will draw A here, then it is bound to B, then A, then B, then A, then B. Look at that, this is your arrangement of monomer in the alternative manner. Next I will discuss about the block copolymer. This type of copolymer contains a long sequence of monomer units in a linear chain. Look at that. Suppose I will arrange the monomer A. Look at that. Here four monomer A are arranged in a block. Then again another four monomer, that is your B, are arranged also in a block. Again here another monomer, that is your A, will arrange in a block. One block, two block, three block. You can think about the another block. This is the structure of block copolymer. Now I will discuss about the graft copolymer. Next is your graft copolymer. This type of copolymer consists of a main homopolymer with a branches of another homopolymer. That means, take an example. If I will arrange the A monomer like this, and it is considered as the main homopolymer because here only A are arranged. Next, I will arrange the another monomer, that is your B, and it must be arranged a branch, and it is also considered as the another homopolymer. Suppose I will arrange here. Look at that. This is a homopolymer, but it is the branch of this main homopolymer. Here we can also arrange like this also. This is the structure of graft copolymer. This is all about your copolymerization and the types of copolymer. Next I will discuss about some important polymer. At first I will discuss about the polythene. The monomer of polythene is your ethene. Remember this point. Always a 1 mark question asked in the exam. What is the monomer of polythene? Then we can write the monomer of polythene is your ethene. Ethene is also called ethylene. Remember, polythene are two types. So we can write polythene are of two types. Such are, number one is your low density polythene, and the second is your high density polythene, At first I will discuss about the low density polythene. What is the low density polythene? These are classified depending upon the density of the polythene. If the density of the polythene is 0.92 gram per cm cube, then the polythene is called low density polythene. When ethene is heated at 473 Kelvin temperature and high pressure, that is your pressure is your 1500 to 2000 atm, in the presence of trace amount of oxygen, that is your 0.03% to 0.1% of oxygen, then polythene is formed. That means we generally think about the preparation of low density polythene. Now I will want to write the reaction. This is the structure of ethene. Suppose I will take n molecules of ethene. Now it is subjected to reaction in the presence of trace amount of oxygen. Next, temperature is your 473 Kelvin. Pressure is 1500 to 2000 atm. Then what will happen? This pi bond will break and will able to form the polythene. This is the structure of polythene. This is a low density polythene. This type of polythenes are generally transparent, moderate tensile strength, high toughness. This type of polymer are generally chemically inert, slightly flexible, and poor conductor of electricity. Due to poor conductor of electricity, these type of polythenes are generally used as an insulating material for wire and cables. So we can write another point. This polythene is used as an insulating material for wire and cable. This type of polythene is used as a packing material in the form of thin bags. This type of polythene are used in the manufacture of toys, pipes, bottles, etc. This is some points about the low density polythene. Next is your high density polythene. If the density of the polythene is 0.97 gram per cm3, then that type of polythene is called high density polythene. So you can write, if the density of the polythene is 0.97 gram per cm3, then that type of polythene is called high density polythene. This type of polythene are generally prepared at low pressure. So you can write, when ethene is heated at a temperature 433 Kelvin to 443 Kelvin and pressure, that is 6 to 7 atm, very low pressure as compared to the low density polythene. In the presence of Ziegler-Natta catalyst, that is your triethyl aluminum and titanium tetrachloride. Then what will happen? Then polythene is formed. Polythene is formed means high density polythene is formed. So you can write in equation CH2 double bond CH2. This is the structure of ethene, that is your ethylene. Here N molecule is taken. Now it is subjected to heating at 433 Kelvin to 443 Kelvin at pressure 6 to 7 atm. In the presence of Ziegler-Natta catalyst, then what will happen? Polythene is formed. The structure of polythene is this. your N will be written. This is your ethene, this is your said to be polyethene. Here the pi bond will be break. As a result, it is able to join the another ethene molecule and form the polyethene polymer. This type of polyethene, that means you think about the high density polyethene, are also inert like the low density polyethene. So you can write this is also inert, but remember it is harder and more tensile and more tougher than the low density polyethene. So you can write this is also inert but harder, high tensile and more tougher than low density polythene. This type of polythenes are used for the manufacture of container, that is a bucket, pipe, etc. This type of polythene are also used in the manufacture of toy, pipes, bottles, etc. This is some points related to the high density polythene. Overall, this is all about the polythene. Next, I will discuss about the another important polymer, that is your polyacrylonitrile. The monomer of polyacrylonitrile is acrylonitrile, or that is your vinyl cyanide. When vinyl cyanide is heated at high pressure in the presence of peroxide catalyst, then polyacrylonitrile is formed. The structure of vinyl cyanide is also called acrylonitrile, is this. This is the structure of vinyl cyanide. Now it is subjected to polymerization at a high pressure in the presence of peroxide catalyst, and heat is also given, that is your heating. Then what will happen? This pi bond will break. As a result, polymerization takes place and vinyl cyanide undergoes polymerization to form the polyacrylonitrile. This is the structure of polyacrylonitrile. Your N molecule is taken. The name of this polymer is your polyacrylonitrile. It is otherwise also called, shortly called PAN, or also otherwise called Orlon. It has also other name, that is your acrylone. These are the different names of polyacrylonitrile polymer. There are many uses of polyacrylonitrile. The uses of polyacrylonitrile are: it is used in making blanket, sweaters, bathing cloth. Next is your carpets. There are many uses of polyacrylonitrile. nitrile. Next I will discuss about the another important polymer, that is your polytetrafluoroethylene, that is shortly called PTFE. The monomer of polytetrafluoroethylene is tetrafluoroethylene. When tetrafluoroethylene is heated at high pressure, then polytetrafluoroethylene is formed. The structure of tetrafluoroethylene is this. This is the structure of tetrafluoroethylene. Here we take n number of tetrafluoroethylene molecule. It is subjected to polymerization at high pressure. Also heat is given. Then what will happen? This pi bond will undergoes breakdown and tetrafluoroethylene undergoes polymerization. From the polytetrafluoroethylene, the structure of polytetrafluoroethylene is this. This is the structure of polytetrafluoroethylene. It has also other name, that is Teflon. The name of this polymer is also called Teflon. Teflons are tougher and more resistant to heat and chemical attack. Chemical attack means generally think about the action of acid and base. So you can write here such chemical attack, such acids and bases. Since it has more resistance to heat and chemical attack, so it is used as a resistance material. Now I will discuss about the uses of Teflon. First use is it is used as a resistant material to heat and chemical reaction. It is also coated over articles and cookwares to make non-sticky. So you can write it is coated over articles and cookware to make non-sticky. It is also used in making gaskets, also used in making pump packing, that is your pump packing. Next is your valves, seals, etc. These are the uses of Teflon. Next I will discuss about the another important polymer, that is your polyamides. Polyamides are shortly known as nylon. The polyamides with the amide linkage means that is your bond C double bond O bond NH bond, which is your amide linkage, are formed by the condensation of diamines with the dibasic acid and also of amino acid with its lactam. There are different types of nylon. At first I will discuss about the nylon 6,6. The monomer of nylon 6,6 is hexamethylene, diamines and adipic acid. Both the hexamethylene, diamine and adipic acid contain 6 carbon atom. So such type of polyamides are called nylon 6,6. So this type of polyamides are called nylon 6,6. The structure of hexamethylene diamine is this. This is the structure of hexamethylene diamine. Now it is subjected to polymerization with the adipic acid. This is the structure of adipic acid. Here we take n molecules of hexamethylene diamine and it is subjected to polymerization with n molecules of adipic acid. This is one type of condensation polymerization. Here water is removed as a simple molecule. The hydrogen atom of amine combine with the OH atom of the adipic acid and form the simple molecule pure water. Here heat is given, that is your 553 Kelvin, and high pressure is given. Then nylon 6,6 polymer is formed. This is the structure of nylon 6,6 molecule. It is bound to write here N. This is said to be nylon 6,6. Look at that. Here 6 carbon atom present in the hexamethylene diamine. Also 6 carbon atom present in the adipic acid. So the name of this polyamide is nylon 6,6. There are many uses of nylon 6,6. The uses of nylon 6,6 are: it is used to make the cord of tire, fishing net, bristles of brushes, strings for the sports racket, etc. There are many uses of nylon 6,6. Next I will discuss about the another polyamide polymer, that is your nylon 6. The monomer of nylon 6 is your caprolactam. This is the monomer of nylon 6. Structure of caprolactam is like this. When it is subjected to heating with the water, then nylon 6 is formed. This is the structure of nylon 6. Here we can write N. This is the structure of nylon 6. Here it is bound to take N molecules. So we can write a statement for this reaction when caprolactam is heated with water, then nylon 6 is formed. Here we can write heat. There are many uses of nylon 6. The nylon 6 is used for making ropes, tire cord, and fabrics. Next I will discuss about the another important polymer, that is your polyester. The polyester with ester linkage, that is your bond C double bond O bond. This is your ester linkage. Are formed by the condensation of diols with dicarboxylic acid. The best example of polyester is your terylene, that is otherwise called darkon. The monomer of terylene is ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. This is your belongs to diols. This belongs to your dicarboxylic acid. When ethylene glycol is heated with the terephthalic acid at 420 Kelvin to 460 Kelvin in the presence of a catalyst, then terylene is formed. The structure of ethylene glycol is this. This is the structure of ethylene glycol. Your N molecule is taken and it is subjected to polymerization with N molecule of terephthalic acid. This is the structure of terephthalic acid. These two are taken at temperature 420 Kelvin to 460 Kelvin. Here we can write terephthalic acid. This is the structure of ethylene glycol. There is a loss of water molecule takes place. The OH of terephthalic acid combined with the hydrogen atom of the ethylene glycol, then terylene is formed. The structure of terylene is like this. This is the structure of terylene. This is called terylene, or it is also called darkon. It has also other name, that is your polyethylene, terephthalate. There are many uses of terylene. First use is used for making cells or sailboats. It is also used for making water house for firefighting operation. It is also used for making conveyor beds. Next I will discuss about the another important polymer, that is phenyl formaldehyde resin. Basically think about the bakelite. The monomer of bakelite is phenyl and formaldehyde. This is an important question always asked in the exam. What is the monomer of bakelite? How can you form the bakelite? At first, the phenyl is reacted with the formaldehyde. In the presence of an acid or base catalyst. Then what happens then? A mixture of para-hydroxy, benzyl alcohol and ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol is formed. The ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol undergoes polymerization to form the novalach. Then the novalach undergoes reaction with the formaldehyde to form the bakelite. Now I will write the reaction. Take the phenyl. This is your said to be phenyl. Now it is subjected to reaction with the formaldehyde in acidic or basic medium. So here you can write H plus or OH minus as your choice. This is used as an only catalyst. This is your said to be phenyl. This is your said to be formaldehyde. Then what will happen? A mixture of para-hydroxy benzyl alcohol and ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol is formed. The structure of para-hydroxy benzyl alcohol is this. This is your said to be para-hydroxy benzyl alcohol, and another product is ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol. Ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol is formed. Now this ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol undergoes polymerization to form the novalach. Now I will explain how can you form the novalach. If I will take more ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol, then novalach is formed by polymerization. This is one ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol. This is the another ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol. You can take a number of ortho-hydroxy benzyl alcohol for polymerization. Here hydrogen atom is present. We remove the hydrogen atom with the OH atom as water molecule. Here hydrogen atom is also present. Remove the water molecule like this. Then what will happen? You will get the novalach like this. This is the structure of novalach. Here CH2 bond Here also CH2 bond. This is the structure of Novalak. Now Novalak undergoes reaction with the formaldehyde to form the bakelite. This is the structure of Novalak. Novalak undergoes reaction with the formaldehyde. Heat is given. Then what will form? Bakelite is formed. You can take many Novalak molecules. Suppose I want to explain the formation of bakelite. This is the structure of one Novalak. You can take another Novalak molecule. This is the structure of another Novalak molecule. This is the structure of another Novalak molecule. Here hydrogen atom is present. Here also hydrogen atom is present. Look at that. These are the hydrogen atom. Now I will give the formaldehyde. Look at that. There is a loss of water molecule takes place. Here also loss of water molecule takes place. Here also loss of water molecule takes place. As a result, you can get the structure of bakelite. This is the structure of bakelite. Now water molecule is removed here and CH2 connect to these two ring. As a result, we can write here CH2. Here OH. That is your CH2 here. Next is your CH2. Next ring OH. Here also CH2 bond. Next is your CH2. Next is your again ring OH, CH2. Here CH2 will be present. This is the structure of bakelite. This is the structure of bakelite. Again I will repeat. Look at that. At first phenol is subjected to reaction with the formaldehyde. Then para-hydroxybenzyl alcohol and ortho-hydroxybenzyl alcohol is formed. Again ortho-hydroxybenzyl alcohol undergoes polymerization, gives the Novalak. Now the Novalak undergoes reaction with the formaldehyde. Under heating condition gives the bakelite. Next I will discuss some uses of bakelite. It is used for making combs, fountain pens, barrels, gramophone, record, etc. It is also used for making electrical goods like your switch, plugs, etc. These are the uses of bakelite. Next I will discuss about the rubber. There are two types of rubber. One is your what? Natural rubber. Another is your synthetic rubber. And first I will discuss about the natural rubber. The monomer of natural rubber is isoprene. It having a chemical name that is 2-methyl buta 1,3-diene. This is the structure of 2-methyl but 1,3-diene. Now it is undergoes polymerization. This is said to be 2-methyl buta 1,3-diene. When 2-methyl but 1,3-diene undergoes polymerization, then what will happen? Your pi bond will be formed. Your one bond will empty. Here also helps to form the pi bond, and here another bond is empty. That means we can write CH2 bond CH3. Here double bond is formed. CH, next is your CH2 bond. This is your said to be polyisoprene, and this is your said to be isoprene. We can write a statement for this reaction. When 2-methyl buta 1,3-diene undergoes polymerization, then what will happen? Then polyisoprene is formed. Remember an important point: the polyisoprene shows the cis-trans isomerism. Now I will draw the cis isomerism of polyisoprene. At first bond CH2 group is written here, then C, then CH3, double bond C. Here it is bound to give the CH2 group. Here hydrogen atom is written because the two CH2 group present on the same side of the double bond, because it is the cis form. Again another polyisoprene is attached to this polyisoprene like this. Here CH2 group is present, here hydrogen atom is present because the two CH2 group present on the same side of this double bond. You can write the cis form of polyisoprene like this. This is the cis form of polyisoprene. Here CH2 present in the same side of this double bonded carbon atoms. Here also CH2 present the same side of this double bond. Here also CH2 present on the same side of this double bond. Because cis means the same group are present on the same side. Now I will draw the trans form of the polyisoprene. Look at that. Trans means the same group present in the opposite side, so it is bound to give the CH2 here, and hydrogen atom is written here. Next I will draw the CH2 here. C, double bond C. Here CH3 group is present, and the CH2 group must be written here because they are opposite to each other. Here hydrogen atom is written. Next I will draw the CH2 here. C, double bond C. Here CH3 group will be written. Here hydrogen atom is written. Here CH2 group is written. This is the trans isomerism of polyisoprene. All the natural rubbers showing the cis isomerism, while all the synthetic rubber showing the trans isomerism. Due to cis isomerism of natural rubber, there is an weak van der Waals force of interaction between the chains. There is an weak van der Waals interaction between chains which resulting the coiled structure of natural rubber. As a result, the natural rubber can be stretched like a spring and it shows the elastic property. As a result, the natural rubber can be stretched like a spring and shows the elastic properties. The synthetic rubber also called gutta percha. Now I will discuss about the vulcanization of rubber. The process of heating natural rubber with the sulfur and with the appropriate amount of the additive substance like your ZnO, that is your zinc oxide, and an appropriate amount of additive zinc oxide. Why we need the vulcanization of rubber? To improve the properties of the natural rubber at a temperature 373 Kelvin to 415 Kelvin to improve the properties of natural rubber. Remember a very important point, the vulcanized rubbers are more better than the natural rubber. So we can write the vulcanized rubber has an excellent elasticity, low water absorption capacity, and more resistant to heat and oxidizing agent. In contrast to the natural rubber, which are soft and sticky, having high water absorption capacity, low tensile strength, and low abrasion. The extent of hardness and toughness of vulcanized rubber depends upon the amount of added sulfur. So you can write the extent of hardness and toughness depends upon the amount of added sulfur. Generally, in case of tire, the amount of sulfur added is your 5%. In case of ebonite, the amount of sulfur added is your 20% to 25%, and the amount of sulfur added in the battery case rubber is your 30%. Depending upon the amount of the sulfur added in the natural rubber, we can decide the hardness and toughness of the vulcanized rubber. Now I will discuss about some important synthetic rubber. First I will discuss about the cis polybutadiene. The monomer of cis polybutadiene is 1,3-butadiene. The structure of 1,3-butadiene is written like this. This is the structure of 1,3-butadiene. Now it undergoes polymerization in the presence of Ziegler-Natta catalyst. When it undergoes polymerization, then your double bond is formed. Your one single bond remain empty. Here also one single bond remain empty. Your N molecule is taken, and we can write the structure of the polymer is like this. This is the structure of polybutadiene. It is present in the cis form, so it is called cis polybutadiene. You can write a statement for this reaction when 1,3-butadiene undergoes polymerization in the presence of Ziegler-Natta catalyst, then cis polybutadiene is formed. The properties of natural rubber is similar with the cis polybutadiene. Next I will discuss about the another synthetic rubber, that is neoprene. The monomer of neoprene is chloroprene, and it has a chemical name, that is 2-chloro-buta-1,3-diene. The structure of 2-chloro-butadiene is like this. This is the structure of 2-chloro-buta-1,3-diene. When it undergoes polymerization, then what will happen? Your double bond will form like this. Your one single bond remain empty. Your also one single bond remain empty. Your N molecule is taken. That means we can write like this. This is the structure of neoprene. Your N is written. That is said to be neoprene. The name of this compound is chloroprene. The name of this compound is also 2-chloro-buta-1,3-diene. We can write a statement for this reaction when 2-chloro-buta-1,3-diene undergoes polymerization, then neoprene is formed. There are different uses of neoprene. First is your manufacture of horses, shoes, heel, stoppers, etc. These are used as an insulator. Next is your making conveyor belt, and printing rollers. Now I will discuss about the another important synthetic synthetic rubber, that is your Bunna N. The monomer of Bunna N is your 1,3-butadiene, and acrylonitrile, it is also called, that is your vinyl cyanide. The structure of 1,3-butadiene is like this. This is the structure of 1,3-butadiene. 1,3-butadiene. Your N molecule is taken and it is subjected to reaction with N molecule of vinyl cyanide. The structure of vinyl cyanide is this. This is the structure of vinyl cyanide. Both 1,3-butadiene and vinyl cyanide undergoes polymerization. When both undergoes polymerization, then what will happen? Your double bond will be formed like this. Your single bond remain as empty, and this bond will combine with this bond. Your one single bond remain as empty. We can write the structure of Bunna N like this. This is the structure of Bunna N. Your N is written, that is called Bunna N. We can write a statement for this reaction. When 1,3-butadiene and vinyl cyanide undergoes polymerization, then Bunna N is formed. There are many uses of Bunna N. It is used for the manufacture of horses, used for tank lining. These are the uses of Bunna N. Next I will discuss about the another important synthetic rubber, that is your Bunna S. The monomer of Bunna S is 1,3-butadiene and styrene. The structure of 1,3-butadiene is this. This is the structure of 1,3-butadiene. 1,3-butadiene. Here N molecule is taken and it is subjected to polymerization with the N molecules of styrene. This is the structure of styrene. Now when both styrene and 1,3-butadiene undergoes polymerization, then Bunna S is formed. For the formation of Bunna S, your double bond is formed like this, and here a single bond formed between this carbon and this carbon. Here a single bond remain as empty. Here also a single bond remain as empty. And we can write the structure like this: CH2 bond CH, double bond CH, bond CH2, bond CH. Here ring is present, that is your CH2 bond. Here N is written, that is the structure of Bunna S. We can write a statement for this reaction. When 1,3-butadiene and styrene undergoes polymerization, then Bunna S is formed. There are different uses of Bunna S. Bunna S is used for automobile tires manufacture. Next is your manufacture of rubber soles, and also used for the preparation of waterproof shoes, and also used for the manufacture of belts, etc. This is all about your polymer chapter.